welcome back to the Friends of Zeus podcast. I'm Zeus. These are my friends. Tonight we are doing episode 242.
Ooh.
And tonight is going to be Hot Carl's uh,
Hello.
display of intelligence
Oh, wonderful.
He's a
for the
good
public.
ventriloquist. Like I don't even see his lips moving half the time.
No, he looks
Yeah, we
almost
should
plastic.
we should
Yeah.
do a podcast on that.
Oh, on
I still think
ventriloquist.
we need to do a podcast with all of us using our Funkos.
I think we should. We should probably
Anyway,
just we should start doing that in general, just
Yeah,
going forward.
yeah. I got to dig mine out. I know where it is, but it's kind of buried.
is it a butt plug? Tell me it's a butt plug.
No.
Yeah, very.
Mike, are you recording?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay,
we
great.
are recording,
Well,
so that's good.
Hot Carl, I hand the reins over to you.
Okay, guys, and our viewer out there, just a quick, I guess disclaimer is the word I'm looking for.
Mm.
We're going to be discussing some existential topics tonight, some cosmic topics, and I just want the record to stay. Oh, there's Desiree; she's hopping in.
She's hopping in. You want the
Um,
record?
no, just for the record, I am not an astronomer or even an astrologer.
Mhm.
And no one in this podcast is. So we're going to be talking about some phenomena in fairly layman's terms and just sort of what we think about what's actually happening. Like for today, for example, I just read this right after dinner before starting this podcast on Wednesday night, December 10th. Apparently, the United States just seized an oil tanker from Venezuela.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Okay,
I need
so
to know more.
right, so that's the kind of stuff that's going on in our world. And it's we all have our day to day, we have our families, we have our jobs, right? We have things that our mind is forced to focus on. And I know for myself, and I don't know about you guys, we can get into it, but how much I think about the broader scope of things going on around me that basically support my entire existence and that of everything going on.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like I don't dwell on the cosmic all that much. And so this story, like what's happening out there in our universe, it really interested me. Like weeks ago, I was supposed to do this episode weeks ago, and one thing happened after another. We've obviously been providing content. We've had episodes. The world moved on. It's fine. Um, but this fascinates me a little bit because it makes me
Yeah.
think
Hmm.
about what's beyond what's in front of us every day. You know what I mean? Like every night, if you look up and you don't live in the city, if you live out in the rural areas, you can just see the vastness of what's out there and our place in it. And so, this whole thing, what I wanted to start talking about tonight is this object hurtling through our solar system called the Three Eye Atlas comet. I don't know if you guys, Mike, you mentioned you've been sort of following along
A little
some of
bit.
this stuff.
Yep.
But just to give some just quick facts, and then we can kind of move around what you guys think of it. This is only the third confirmed object from outside our solar system. Okay, following there were two others. There was the 11. I can't pronounce this word. Oumuamua,
Yeah,
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
Very good.
21 Borisov. Okay, so now it's essentially, I mean, so it's a comet, and we know about comets, right? We have them in our solar system. I remember as a kid there was Halley's comet, and everybody said, "Oh, it won't come around for 85 years." So you
Hmm.
got to get out there, you got to see it.
Yep.
The thing about this is it's not gravitationally bound to our sun. Okay, it's interstellar. It's from outside our solar system. It just came hurtling in, and it's going to do its thing like a comet. It'll spin at some point, and it'll go wherever it's, you know what I mean,
Hmm.
beyond us again. Um, it was detected by the Atlas survey telescopes in Hawaii. Most of human history, it says here, objects like this passed unnoticed, but only in the last decade have sky surveys become sensitive enough to catch faint, fast moving visitors crossing our cosmic backyard. Essentially, it's a time capsule from another planetary system. It's material untouched for billions of years.
which is just
So, I
mind-blowing.
mean, we're talking about something that just flew into our little mini, our backyard, our
Our puddle,
neighborhood. Think
our
think of it
puddle.
like a
Yeah.
neighborhood. Like you live in a cul-de-sac, you know everybody there. It's pretty routine, and now this thing just comes rocketing in. Just to give you some idea, it's between 1,400 feet and 3.5 miles. Like that's the range they think the size of this could be, and it weighs over 30 billion tons.
I think they said it's the size of Manhattan.
That could
Or it could be.
that could be right.
I mean, 3.5
Um,
miles. Yeah. I mean, you said 1,900 feet to 3.5 miles, so it would be like 1,900 feet to 17,000 feet,
That's what I
something like
mean.
that.
Like this,
Yeah.
right?
It's a
And
big range.
they base that just on what we can gauge about it. You know what I mean? Like in terms of this, what they see compared to what's around it, the gas emissions from it. Um, and anyway, so I just think it's pretty wild that it's a recent technology that we have that allows us to see this kind of shit, which I think is awesome.
Yeah.
Do you know
But
how we first noticed it? Was it Hail Bop or
I'm not
Umbop?
sure. I'm not
No,
sure. I
it
know they
was
spotted it from Hawaii. That's
yeah, it was picked up by the Atlas. I don't know if they're I think they're telescopes. Could be
Hmm.
satellite. I think they're satellites actually. But it was picked up by that. And
Okay.
it's funny what you said, Hot Carl, because I that's one of the big questions I had was, is this a recent phenomena or are we just able to see it now? And it seems like it's more the latter, that we're just able to pick these up. They may have been coming through all the time. We just didn't know it because they were too
right.
far.
Yeah, and I was thinking that too, and I this thing just to get into it a little bit, it's traveling at about 130,000 miles an hour, which is mind-boggling.
Hmm.
And the trajectory that we know traces back toward the constellation Sagittarius, which is near the Milky Way center. Now, we don't know if it exactly originated there, but that's the direction that it's coming from.
Well, it's
Uh,
Sagittarius season right now, I think.
I think it could
It's
be.
Capricorn, or it's going to be Capricorn and then Aquarius. Oh yeah, I think it's
Oh,
Sagittarius and
it
then
is
it'll be
Sagittarius
Capricorn
now.
Hmm.
and then Aquarius.
What a coincidence, one
Huh.
might say. But no, it's just, I guess what I wanted to know is like now that we know that this type of shit is flying through our neighborhood at
Hmm.
130,000 miles an hour, and it's about 3.5 miles in size, and that's some people think it's bigger than that. Like the
Yeah.
scientists are not completely in agreement on how big it is. But I just want to know, like, I mean, what is how does that make you guys feel? Like, I know for me, the idea that something from somewhere else hurtling at that speed, at that size, just blasting through our gravitational rules, like what restricts us to our sun, it kind of scares me a little bit. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I mean, we all know the meteor theory and the dinosaurs and all of that. So
Hmm.
it just kind of, I don't know. It worries me a little bit.
Well,
And
it's not coming
unlike
close to Earth, is it?
This one's
no,
not.
no, but unlike the previous two, it is passing between a planet and the sun. It's passing between Mercury and the sun, which is, or is it Mars? I think it's Mercury. Um, which is pretty astounding. So it's going to be between a planet and the sun. It's on the opposite side of the sun right now, from what I understand. So we can't see it. We could see it, and then it went behind the sun to pass between, and then it's going to reemerge sometime here in December where we can see it again. But it is
Now,
kind of freaky, Hot Carl. I mean, thinking that something, there's so much that we think that we can control, and yet we keep finding these things that are like, oh, it's passing within whatever. I mean, I'm just waiting for the one that's like, we just found this thing and it's on a direct path to hit the Earth. I mean,
Yeah,
that could
no.
totally happen. It could totally happen. And
That
there's, yeah,
Do they think it's going to hit Mercury?
no, it's passing
no.
between. It's the ellipse of Mercury is, and it's going to pass between the
Oh.
Mercury. It's doing it right
Even if
now.
it
It's
hit
doing it right
Mercury,
now.
that would be frightening because who knows what that
Or
would
is it?
do to the gravitational, like everything in the universe. We're all kind of
Yeah.
navigating. If it hit Mercury, it could disrupt everything with us. Um, I, this one passes, doesn't hit us. We're probably 1,000 years before we get another real worry like this again. Um, and didn't they just say recently, not too long ago, that there was one, or was it Three Eye Atlas that passed close to us, but it's going around, and they say it'll come back around in like a year? I don't think that's Three Eye Atlas. I think that was something
No,
else.
that was something else. I remember that too, vaguely, Zeus. It was like they told us after the fact. It was pretty close. It's like, oh, wonderful. Yeah, no, well, this is the third one. Like I said, the Oumuamua and the whatever the other one was, the Russian name, Borisov. These have all happened because we can see them now. So they're all pretty recent, right? I mean, they're all within the last decade. And so that's why it kind of alarms me because now that we can see more, we're seeing more. You know what I mean? Like there's shit just flying through our little nest over here.
But they
And
probably always have. It's kind of
well, right, that's
if a
the other
tree
end of it.
falls if a tree falls in the woods and nobody's around, does it make a noise?
Oh,
That
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Well,
you
right, and that's the suggestion that maybe for future generations, this is just, you know, nothing. You know what I
yeah. I
mean?
mean,
Like, oh,
And
here's another one.
they're saying it's
maybe all the
What,
meteorites
Mike?
and stuff. Oh,
well after Zeus. Yeah.
I was going to say maybe all the meteorites that have been hitting the Earth are coming from this same place too. Maybe we're in the trajectory or in the neighborhood of where all these interstellar objects have been hitting us,
Are
and that this
coming.
is just the biggest.
And then it's like, is it intentional? Which we'll get to. Whoa, my
Oh,
thing is getting foggy there. Sorry about that.
Hey, hang on a sec. I'm sorry.
You guys there? Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So the one thing I just read this, just throwing this out there, it will fly its closest distance to the Earth on December 19th at 170 million miles, which is almost twice the distance between the Earth and the Sun, which is pretty close in astronomical terms, I
Yeah.
mean, twice as far as the Sun is. It passed by Mars, and our spaceship or our rovers on Mars were able to snap the best picture of it so far. And then Hubble Space Telescope caught it in August, and the James Webb Telescope caught it in
Yep.
August. The Atlas, the telescope system, get this. I didn't know this. It stands for Asteroid Terrestrial Impact Last Alert System.
Oh, I didn't. I should have known that. I didn't
That's
realize
pretty.
that.
That's pretty
you
messed
could have
up,
kept
man.
that to yourself, Mike.
Asteroid Terrestrial Impact Last Alert System. So that's what picked it up. But I mean, a few weeks ago when I was better prepared for this episode than I am today, I did read some stuff, but I've forgotten some of it. But the thing that's amazing is with NASA and European Space Agency and India and all the world space programs, we have so many different instruments up there. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously the Webb and the Hubble, and we've got the Mars rovers, and we've got Atlas, and we've got other satellites and the ISS, and but there's all these things out there. It's going to pass. They're saying it's going to get to Jupiter, I think in the spring or something like that. Um, but we have so much stuff that it's not just one thing that's recording this. We got like 20 different
Yeah.
lenses pointed at this thing trying to capture it, which is just astonishing to me. And I do think these things have been happening all the time. The odds are in astronomical time, I don't think it just started with Oumuamua. It's probably been occurring, but we just
Yeah.
didn't know it.
Yeah, no, and that's a little freaky. It's good that we know it now. It's good
Yeah.
that we have the quote unquote,
Impact.
Atlas, yes,
Yeah.
the impact people
I
on
didn't
it.
know that's what it was. I mean, I didn't even know we put that up there. I mean, this is like Armageddon movie. This is like Ben Affleck and
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Like we're so,
Bruce
I mean,
Willis.
we grow up knowing about gravity and our solar system, and everything has this order to it, and we rotate around at certain distances, and we don't collide with other planets because we're all on our track. And now this shit just comes flying through like gangbusters, defying all of our gravity, right? Because it's going so fast and it's got
Yeah.
so such size to it. Let me see
They
here.
Isn't
they
one of
I
the
did
things
say
that they're saying that's different about it is that it is changing its speed or something?
well, it's the Earth is or the sun is having a minute effect on its trajectory. It is
Mhm.
slightly changing trajectory, and as it passes by our sun and on this little trip through our solar system, they're estimating that it's going to lose a little more than 10% of its mass from melting,
Yeah,
Hmm.
which is pretty astonishing.
So
yeah, no,
do they
and
know
that's kind.
where,
Go
oh,
ahead,
do
Des.
they know where it came from? Like, did it originate in a different galaxy?
It came
Yeah.
from Zeus's butt.
No, I think.
Oh,
The Zeus galaxy?
I mean, what we know from the
That's a
trajectory is that
great
it
name for a
kind
galaxy.
of came from what's at the center of our trajectory wise. It looks like it came out of the center of our galaxy, which I guess
yeah,
is Sagittarius. But we don't know if that's exactly where it originated. You know what I mean? Like,
Hold
where
on,
did
I
it?
thought we live in the Milky Way.
we
We
do.
do.
The
We don't live in
center,
Sagittarius.
The Milky Way is
the
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 galaxy.
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 We
Yeah,
are a solar system.
Right.
correct.
Um, so yeah, technically you're correct, Des.
And does our solar system have a name? I
It's
It
just
called
realized
the
should.
this.
solar system.
Is it like the Sony solar system? Did someone buy
I
the
think it's
rights to it?
called My Very Educated.
Phyzer. It's
Yeah,
called Pfizer.
Pfizer.
Aunt just bought us 9 pizzas.
Served us 9 pizza pies.
The Pfizer solar system. Yeah,
Yeah, that's a good
Domino's.
question. Does it have a name?
I've
Yeah,
never heard of it.
who's
I'm
endorsing it?
I'm very curious. I'm googling it because we should know that. It's no, it's officially
It's just
called the solar system.
With
Yeah,
everything
mm,
we
else that they
gotta.
micromanage, you'd think they wouldn't have gotten lazy on that
Yeah,
one.
we got. Maybe we
well,
could
yeah, because
call
they
it the
say there's
Friends
like
of Zeus solar
there's a bunch
system.
of different solar systems.
That's
Yeah.
correct.
But so why and I'm
Well,
sure they have names.
it's like we call it the sun, whereas it's a sun, but we call it
Well,
the
I mean,
sun.
Well,
do
Soul. I
other
think it's
solar
actually
systems
called
have a
Soul.
sun?
Soul. Yeah.
Or is it just
So
something else that gets circled around? Space is weird.
yeah, it is weird, and
It is
that's
weird.
and that's that's what's so kind of cool about it. Now that we have the technology, like Mike was saying, we're going to see a lot of cool stuff, which is great. And you probably have people like, I mean, people. There's already people that are astronomers, right? I mean, they exist. These are the guys running the atlas and all that. But if for just the layman, it may be kind of like, how there's people that are weather watchers, like they're
Hmm.
Yeah.
fascinated with that. They have a channel dedicated to it. You know what I mean? Like
Or
as we
tornado chasers, yeah.
yeah, I mean, so there might be a space channel that covers this shit because people are so like aware, like we don't
Can
know
we
where,
call it the Space Channel?
I mean,
yeah, the space channel.
all of these
Yeah, NASA's
things,
really fucking lazy, aren't they?
all of these things, these
NASA adjacent.
instruments, yeah, they are. I mean, open source is the wrong term, but they are all. They're what they're creating. Their imagery is all like public knowledge, like publicly accessible,
Yeah, that's right.
which is amazing. I mean, it's not, they're very open about it. And the thing too, I was reading this story just a few weeks ago, but it's not like, don't get the idea that we have all these instruments and all these imaging things, and then like, Three Eye Atlas comes flying in and an alarm goes off telling the human. No, it's human beings and machine learning scouring these images, looking for anomalies, looking for things, like when we found all the exoplanets, like 10 years ago,
I
other
forget,
planets that could
is
be Earth.
Pluto now officially a planet? Because they've been back and forth on that for
I think it's still not,
Not a
but
planet.
it's always a
It's a
planet to me.
it's a dwarf.
it's
It's a
going to be a
dwarf.
planet in my heart.
Me too. But
Yeah, and
they started finding these exoplanets because they would pass in front of a star. Like that's how they were able to see them. So they started writing this programming and on these images to see these little dots that would cross in front of stars. And then they were able to get all the information because it was a
And
planet.
and
It was
and
orbiting around that star.
the crazy thing is our galaxy is fucking immense.
And it's one of billions,
Like,
hundreds of
yeah,
billions.
yeah, like there could very well be other livable planets within. I think I can't remember the name of it, but the Alpha Centauri, is that the
I
closest
think
one
that's
to
the
us?
closest.
I think
Yeah.
that's the closest one. Yeah.
And they have seen planets that by logistics only could support life far enough away. Yeah. And that's just this fucking galaxy.
That's where the last Starfighter occurred.
Well,
Oh God,
see,
that's such a good
Good
movie.
movie.
that's why I don't
Nice
understand what
pull.
Elon's doing about Mars. Like, I mean, Mars is cool, I guess, but
Yeah.
Well, no.
we got
Actually,
all
I
these
do know.
other, like we've got like Titan, I think was one of the planet, like one of them. They're like,
The
The
oh
moon.
yeah, I
Yeah.
could probably
reason
live
that
here.
Eli wants Mars is he wants to use it as a launching point for further into space. I
Right, but
don't
what
know
I'm
why
saying
that
is like,
makes.
I'm there's got to be I mean, just on the other side of the sun, there's got to be the same that we got going on over here, just over there. You know, like there's thousands of solar systems in
That
our
is
galaxy.
interesting. That is
More than
interesting.
that.
Why are
You
we
know
just
what?
looking at Mars? Like,
Well,
Because it's
but here's the
close.
thing, guys. We're not we're rotating around the sun, so we are getting a look at all the
All
galaxy
sides.
around it. It's not like, don't
Solar
look at the
system.
sun. It's like we're looking outwards, opposite to the sun, I think. So I mean, it's a 3-year journey to do these things, but it also, I think we're getting a good view. My fear now, because Mike had to tell us what Atlas meant,
Yeah, I didn't know
is
that. And yeah.
but honest. So I want to make an observation. I'm going to get away from my fear thing. Something that I found was very interesting about the argument that we're sending out, radio waves and all these other things to other, just out into
We're
the
noisy.
cosmos.
We're noisy.
Um, we didn't start doing that until like the 1940s.
Hmm.
And I was just reading about it, and the gist of it was that for anything to have seen this, like right now, wouldn't even be a long enough time for it to reach like interstellar space.
Correct.
So if we were to be visited, it would be by other entities, uh curiosity. It would not be by us drawing attention to ourselves.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Atlas AI is very interesting in that like some of the I love the conspiracy theories behind it, that it is a probe.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Well, if I could get into that, part of the
yeah,
reason,
Yeah.
yeah, no, I mean, basically well, a couple of things are interesting. Now, I mean, while this thing approaches the sun, right? Let's just say it's kind of makes sense, like Mike was saying, it's being affected by it. The ices inside the nucleus, they change. They'll go from solid to gas and erupt into space, right? Dragging dust grains that forms the tail of the comet. It produces evolving structures that change shape daily. And it says here another observation that's intriguing is there's a roughly 16-hour repeating brightening pattern, a rotational modulation. As the comet spins, different active regions come into and out of view, altering how much sunlight is reflected. So it seems to have a vibration or a sort
oh
of clock-like pattern. And that's what's got some people like buzzing about, like, oh, why does it do this? It could be
Yeah.
totally natural. Another thing that's kind of cool about it, and just in terms of like, another thing you could think of, Zeus mentioned other entities and all that. It says here that this thing is comprised, it's got carbon dioxide.
yeah,
It's also got
nickel.
It's got methanol, a lot of methanol in it, and so they're saying that that's a molecule associated with prebiotic chemistry. It participates
Parts.
in the formation of organic molecules that
Space farts.
that under the right conditions and in complex environments can contribute to biological biochemical evolution.
Wow.
Okay, so that means that methanol from an object like this that originates beyond us, beyond our solar system, it expands confidence that organic chemistry may be widespread among many star systems.
Maybe that's
Uh,
methane.
the argument
So
is the
at
ingredient.
bare minimum, it either came from a living planet, a planet that supported life, or it picked these things up in its journey.
Or it came from a place with like a lot of menthol cigarettes. Like, is that what? No,
It came
it's
from the
methane.
planet
Yeah.
Newport.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Um,
Basically, prebiotic materials could be carried everywhere in the galaxy without needing biological life to exist first. The raw chemistry predates biology. That's what this thing is saying. The implications of that are. And there's always like this theories about how, like, we're seeds that were
yeah,
planted by somebody else.
That's when I heard, yeah.
panspermia. Yeah.
Right. That's exactly what it's called, panspermia. Yep.
Which totally
So,
makes
Sperm.
sense. I mean, if you
if
look at nature in general, that's
Johnny
how
Appleseed.
life spreads. Like, wouldn't it make sense if things came and hit the earth or fell to the earth that would germinate and
Well,
become, I
that
mean, that,
seems to be how the dandelions get in my fucking yard. So,
yes, but I'm saying that's how all life is. I mean, birds poop out seeds and animals
Hmm.
poop out seeds
And
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 things
and
migrate.
chemtrails put out seeds. Who knows?
and I know other people have thought about this. I often like to think that if I've thought of it, somebody way smarter and way more educated has thought of it before me. And if we are to believe that we were seeded by some asteroid or whatever, that would have to lend to the thought that there are other planets that are at least able to support life enough, and then planet blows up, whatever, but gets sent to us in this freezing mass, hits our planet, warms up from our sun. A very Goldilocks kind of vibe, like we were at the perfect place at the perfect time.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, just to think about the fact that we have life on this planet is a fucking mind-blowing thing. I mean, I doubt that we're the only ones, but I also doubt that this planet
And
will meet other planets unless they're looking for us.
and such
That's a good,
diversity of life. I'm sorry, Desert. I mean,
the
there's
good,
so many different types of life on our planet.
before I lose this thought, why don't we just go put some genetic material on Mars then and see what happens in 10 years?
Oh,
It
that's
won't
that's part
live
of Elon's
Just
plan.
I could take a salt shaker and just
Well,
see if it lives.
eventually.
Well,
the
because
thing
there's
is,
bacteria that can survive very crazy ass conditions, like that live in volcanoes and they don't need oxygen. Thank you.
yeah, but it needs to create carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is actually the more important of the gases because that's what oxygen producing entities like trees and plants and all would need
I mean,
to
he's talking about in the future, I mean, outside of our lifetimes,
outside his, yeah.
terraforming and creating an atmosphere, artificially creating an atmosphere on Mars, which it probably used to have, and then it lost. But there's like just like they can make rain clouds. I mean, it theoretically it's possible to create an atmosphere on a planet that does not have one if given all
Right.
the
Like
right
Total
ingredients,
Recall.
like
I
Total
was just a
Recall.
thought there.
And what another thing, so often when we think of teleportation, we think of like dematerializing somebody and they just magically appear on the other one. But we're now able to create skin and other organs through science. We have 3D printing. I think that is how we will get people to Mars is some form of 3D printing of living organisms, transferring their consciousness through computers and all that. I think that is
Like an
also in the
avatar.
realm of a realistic possibility, or at bare
like an
minimum,
Avatar, like an
sort of,
Avatar.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that that's unrealistic. That's the way we're going. And with AI, we've got AI. I think they said that the AI that we've got these superconductors or whatever you want to call it, super chips that we would die of heat death before we could ever even touch what these super chips are able to do. In other words, that's how immensely powerful they are. They don't even they're so powerful they don't know what to do with them yet.
Yeah, they're using them in like supercomputers, and
And
our
it's just
grid
barely
is.
touching what they can do. Yeah, it's fascinating.
I mean, I think
I'm
personally, my own opinion, and again, I'm just shooting from the hip here. I'm no expert, like Jack said, we're not experts. But like the whole like teleportation and travel, and how can you make, because right now space travel, like when Des was saying like, oh, we should go to other planets that are, in Andromeda, but it's using our technology, it's really not feasible. I mean, you would need multiple generations of people. You'd have to launch a ship with like 100 people on it, and like their great grandchildren would make it. You know what I mean? Like, and
I
you
think
Right.
they
Elon is
there'd be
speeding that
people
process along.
that would be born and die on a spaceship and never know anything else. So I think personally, I think we got to get to the point of interdimensional and time travel, which I know that sounds like crazy. I think it really is. I think it is possible. I think we just can't really conceive of it yet because it just seems like that's the next step. Like you can't just do a internal combustion engine or a chemical rocket and go to Andromeda. You just can't. But like what Einstein pointed out, space-time is can be bent and manipulated through speed and other things. And I think we can't conceive of it. I don't know what the answer is, but I think that that's like teleportation is not breaking down the cells and transporting them somewhere. It's shifting space time, and getting to somewhere. Oh, we lost Jack.
He'll be back.
Um, it's just a guess. I mean, that's what and I think these distances beyond Mars, I think that's where it's going. I think that's where it has to go because again, using our technology right
Well,
now is like sticks and stones. It's like the Bronze Age. Like we,
like one of the theories that I like is we can never travel in the past. It's too paradoxical. Even if we had the technology to do it, it would be unadvisable. But and this is kind of a cool concept. We're already traveling through time.
correct.
Um,
Absolutely.
but we can move towards the future. I don't know how helpful that is unless
Well,
we,
it's not so much it's time, but it's also place. Like again, transdimensionalism, like if you have, in quantum physics, and you have the idea of quantum mechanics, you have the idea that everything that ever happened is happening right now with every eventuality,
that's very
you
much a
know?
string theory kind of vibe
Yeah. So it means you could shift from this now
to
to
another
an
now that's
to
20
an
years behind us.
or to another now that is happening right now, but you're just shifting locate, like you're shifting through space. Again, I'm not a
Oddly,
physicist.
that sounds more believable.
Yeah, I don't have a, but to me, it's almost like I don't understand it, and I'm not saying that's what it is, but in theory, it answers a lot of the other questions. It's like a black hole. It's like I can't see it, but I think it's there. Like I think that this thing is there. We just don't know it yet because it would answer so many questions.
Oh my God, ghosts, the pictures that you see of somebody that appears to be holding a cell phone back in 1922,
Uh,
like just a million things. Yeah.
I mean,
Transdimensional seems like a very realistic possibility. Anyway, let's get back to
yeah, we're
uh
so small. Like the one thing that this story I love about
and we
it is
think
it
we're so
reminds us
important.
we are like a speck on a speck on a speck. Like we are
It's
just
like
like,
Horton Hears a Who.
yeah, we're
yeah.
like we could just van. Like the fact is, if one of these things did hit the Earth, and kill everyone, like the rest of the universe would yawn. Like it wouldn't even notice it. It wouldn't
Hmm.
even
Do you
notice it. It
guys
would,
has everybody seen Animal House?
yes.
Yes.
This reminds me of the little conversation that Donald Sutherland's having at the beginning. He's like, "We're just like a speck on the end of a needle." I can't remember it exactly, but
Yeah,
it was pretty
it's
deep and
true.
Yeah.
But
more
the
in
thing is,
our range of thought now.
we think we're so important. I mean, that's humans' Achilles heel is our hubris. Like we think we're so
I'll be right back, guys.
significant. And this thing coming through, this three-eye atlas, whatever, it certainly gives some perspective, right? I mean, it really makes it hard to worry about like, oh, I got this project I need to finish for work. It's
Yeah,
like
no,
no one
definitely.
cares about that. Like, what are you kidding me?
This is
And
why I
No,
like standing by the ocean.
yeah.
yes,
Perspective. Like
perspective.
you are nothing. Like,
Yeah,
and compared
yeah.
to everything, like you're not,
And
you're
and
just
how
your problems are nothing.
and how good we have it. And again, we all individually, I mean, I'm guilty of this. I have an inflated sense of self-worth, right? It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh man, I had to go to the doctor because I had this thing and I had to have surgery. It's so important and it's existential and I'm gonna go do this. And it's like no one gives a crap about like it's so inconsequential in the grand scheme of things. Nobody cares. It makes no difference other than the people who are like immediately around you. And I think it takes some guts to get to that understanding and to really embrace it because we all think we're so important. And like 1,000, like 200,000 people died in that tsunami in Indonesia back in
Yeah.
2004. Like their lives are important and they just got erased by water,
You know,
like
there comes a
taken out
time
to
in your
sea.
life, I don't know at what age it is, but it's like some probably in your 20s, I think, where you know how like when you were younger and you had like a zit on your face or something and you're like, everybody can see me.
Everyone's staring at it.
Or like you peed your pants or something. I don't know, but everyone knows I did this. It's visible. Everyone's looking at me
Yes.
because I did this, or I have this on my face, or I have pink eye or something. Like everyone knows. They can see it and they're talking it. They
Yep.
are talking
And they
about it
are
too.
all talking
Mm.
about
And they
me.
all know and they're gonna remember forever. And then there comes a time in your life where you're like, literally, not a single person even probably fucking noticed.
Right.
Whatever the thing was, so who cares?
Like
Right.
you could be barefoot and go to the office and no one will notice. No, that's a great point,
One day I walked
Desiree.
around with I had a black shoe and a pink shoe on. I walked around all day like that.
Yeah.
No one probably even
No one
noticed. I didn't even notice
cares.
until later on in the evening that I had two shoes. And the only reason was because I took a picture of something I was holding and I was like, oh shit, I got two different shoes on.
That is true. I mean, younger people, and part of maturity is when you are immature, when you are younger, you think that there's this huge spotlight on you because to you, the world is small and your place in it is X percentage, right? It's like
The only
large.
thing that exists on the earth is that room you're in, right? Then
That
that's it.
room you're in and you. And as you get older, and then you have Three Eye Atlas come by, and you realize that you don't even register on the scale of significance in the universe, it's kind of sobering, you know? It
No,
definitely is.
it really is, in terms of like what you guys were talking about, like memory and time, and like most people don't leave a legacy. They just don't. So
They don't.
everything we're experiencing for, if you're lucky, 85 years of your life, all the different things that you go through and the memories that you gather up, right? Like it's so central to you. It is you. But then like as you get older, you realize like people that are older in your life start to your grandmother passes away or your grandfather passes away. And then you have some photos and maybe
Hmm.
somebody remembers some stories, but the bulk of that person's existence is just gone. Like that
Yes.
person's like there's so much we don't know about what that person experienced. It's just gone. And I think that that's a sobering thought, that that's also going to be us. Like
And the day
people,
was will keep going on.
100%.
The hours will keep ticking on.
yeah.
The day
Except
will end at the end of the day, you
but
know?
people will
And,
be
and
able to
in
go on YouTube and watch the Friends of Zeus podcast, and
Hell yes, good.
we will live
Hell
on.
yes. This is
and
our legacy. We're building a legacy.
it's
It's
interesting
fantastic.
that Desiree said that about time will go on and all these things. These are very terrestrial concepts like
Yeah.
time, space. This is just how we can describe it now.
Right, what we see.
Um, you know what I mean? Like
I
Yeah,
mean,
what we
yeah,
perceive.
for Three Eye Atlas, its perspective, if there's anyone, if it were sentient, its perspective of going through our solar system is less than a blink of a blink of a like it's like an infinitesimally small period of its whole existence. It's been around
That's
for
right.
billions of years. Like it's so insignificant. And
How
we're
long did
sitting
you say
there,
how long did they say it was around? It's her how old it is?
I
Oh,
think
let me
Jack said
see.
a few billion years old.
Yeah.
I wonder
Yeah.
where it's been all them years.
Yeah,
I wonder
where
how many
did it
planets and I wonder how many beings it's seen.
Or like how it came to be and where it came from. And I mean,
and
it's wild to think about.
and time
Has it seen
is
any aliens?
relative.
Well, that's like Mike talked about, what is it called? Panspermia, right?
Panspermia.
And there's obviously there's unintentional, you know what I mean? That this is just in nature and it's just doing its thing and it's dropping chemicals on different planets and affecting, evolution like we talked about. And then there's intentional, like, the idea that we're seedlings, that we were sort of deposited, or chemical changes were made by an intelligent life form, and that led, you know what I mean? So the religious implications, that's another thing I wanted to touch on. Like, what do you think, in your personal view, does does it is it more inclined to lean you away from the thought of a creator, of a god, or is it more in line with maybe making you believe that more?
I
wow.
don't think a comment has anything to do with the creator.
Yeah, but it's just the complexity. I don't know if this is what your point is, Jack, but it's like if it's that complicated and that big and we're that small, like, is there a design?
And then like
Is there a design behind this?
look at the
Yeah, or
terms
is it just chaos chemicals?
Or is it just chaos?
look at the terms omnipresent and omniscience.
Yeah.
Like that's so vast. Like I'm not saying I believe in God, but you have to consider that if he is omniscient and omnipresent, that dude's fucking powerful. You know what I mean? Like we're just talking about our galaxy and the
I
next one over. You
I
know what I
I
mean?
I think the idea, and this is just my own opinion, but I think that we conceptualize God as like the big gray beard wearing a red hoodie, in front. No, I mean we conceptualize God as like a
Going like
person
this.
or like a being sitting in a chair because that's our perspective. That's our understanding is that it's a humanoid figure that is obviously on a throne,
But that's a
is
perception
old and
thing.
right. But what I'm saying
It's
is
got a glow aura around him.
God could be anything. God could be energy.
God could
God
be the
could
sun.
be the sun. God could be a whole other type of being, like either literally or a force. It doesn't even really matter. I mean, it's
Right.
whether you believe that there is intelligent design or whether this is all random. And I could argue both, you know.
Yeah.
There's so much about life and nature that is totally random and weird. So you
Well,
could totally make that argument.
I mean, like, obviously evolution's been around for a while, so you've already had people that say, okay, Adam and Eve is a metaphor. It's not any, you know what I mean? Like, that couldn't have happened that way. There's people that already believe that science has negated, let's say, biblical teachings, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
But the idea of Judeo-Christianity, though, also just whatever you want to do with the Genesis, the idea is that we were made in God's image, and so we have divinity in us, and that was the grand purpose, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So when you have things like comets with methanol leaving deposits on different planets over billions of years that happen to lead to oceans and platelets and magma, and what comes out of the primordial ooze, leading to be Homo sapiens that can actually contemplate their own existence. is it just wishful thinking that we were made in the image of some creator, or
Yes.
right? Okay, so that's a valid fucking point of view. Or does something like the Three Eye Atlas actually sort of validate the idea of some creative force and some divine plan?
Some
You know,
larger
Well, I mean, if you think of
structure.
if again, I know this is going to be I'm not a believer, okay?
that's
Hmm.
okay.
Um, but if you first of all, I would always think I always even in the Bible, it's a good story. Stories about Earth, right? Like God is the God of Earth. Does it say Earth specifically, or does it say the universe?
I think it's the universe.
Well, it talks about earth and heaven,
Hmm.
and it was definitely communicated and told by people who did not have a concept of other worlds.
Okay,
Right.
so like
I don't,
so
during biblical times, they didn't know that Mars existed.
Well,
right. So is there a Mars god? Is there a god of like is his name that guy could be Job or Gob? You know
Well,
what I
Well,
mean?
there'll,
Like is
they made
there
up gods and named the planets after them, right? I mean, didn't
yeah,
they eventually do
or
that?
yeah.
maybe God is the god of the Milky Way?
Actually, I think
Well,
they
who's
did
the
know
god of
that.
Andromeda? You know what I mean? Like it just to me, like the creator, like I don't think it's one person or one being or one thing entity. I think it's
Yeah, who
just too
knows?
complex for
Who
that.
it could just be our perspective has grown,
well,
you know, but the
and that's
question's
why
still the
it's called
same.
faith.
Yeah.
Faith is
Yeah, no, I
Well,
know
believing
right.
that.
something that you have no physical proof of.
Right.
And I get
Exactly.
that.
And scientists, if there's not a scientific explanation for it, then we can't say it's true. Like I know for me personally, I do believe that there's some kind of afterlife because of some of the supernatural shit that I've experienced in my life
Hmm.
and like ghosts and whatnot. But like you guys talked about before, time travel. Like what if those experiences are just lapses in some kind of a thin membrane between the future and the past, where you're getting an image of something that existed, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's a spirit that's still existing and haunting you. You know what I mean? It's
Could be
just,
an echo.
it's right.
Well,
Right.
and that would certainly explain. Mike and I were talking about it earlier.
Yeah.
It actually makes a hell of a lot more sense than a lot of things. It would explain ghosts. They could just be images of something that passes through our universe, a signal of sorts. It makes a lot more sense. I know that string theory has kind of been debunked, but I'm still kind of in that.
What is string
that
theory?
so string theory is that everything's happening all at once.
Hmm.
And there for
Everything that's ever
everything
happened
that
is
you could
happening now.
imagine, there could be a planet where everything's the same, but we're all blue skinned.
That's what I'm saying on the other side of Earth. Or I mean on the other side of the sun. Opposite the sun.
I'll be right back.
Well, again, you're saying opposite the sun, and if you're talking about where our perspective, we've seen opposite of the sun because we've been opposite of the
Yeah. We
sun.
rotate around.
Not theologically, theoretically.
I
Um,
see what you're saying. Well,
so,
but
but
when we're on one side at one point, something's on the other side of Sema at that point.
yeah, but
Correct.
that would indicate a consciousness if something was hiding on the other side of the sun.
Some more planets. Who know? I don't know. I'm just saying it could be.
Well, again, that's what I'm saying. We're going around it, so we're seeing everything.
Yeah, so again, if there's another solar system, it's also going around it. It's you know,
Yeah.
just
Um,
opposite us.
I mean, we're gonna need probably like another. Was it Galileo that determined that the Earth was not the center of the universe and that it was actually the sun, or the center of the galaxy was actually the sun? Was it
I
Galileo
believe,
or was it Da Vinci?
I believe it was Galileo.
And that's it.
Galileo.
Beelzebub has a devil put us. Okay, anyway, so we need another like great thinker, and it may very well be Elon. We need another great thinker that thinks outside the box
Well,
even
yeah,
more.
he's the ultimate forward thinker. I mean, we don't have a lot of them. You know what I mean? And this guy's got the money and the brain power to try to do things.
And the curiosity.
And the curiosity, yeah. I mean, so he's the guy. He's Tony Stark. He is. The people that vilify him are very close-minded people in my mind, no matter how you slice it. Because I mean, how do you not just admire that this guy gives a shit about the future of humanity and the
Yeah.
planet?
Good
You know what
Mic
point.
I mean?
dropped.
Very good point, Jack.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
and
because most people just go through, like you said, they go through their lives. What do I have to do today? Oh, there's my family. Oh, I got to make my car payment. Da 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 da. This guy's got the brains and the money and the no. You know what I mean? Like
he's
he's the
sending
perfect
Teslas into
combination that we
space.
need. And he goes on SNL and Joe Rogan. Like the guy's grounded. You know what I mean? He's got a sense of humor. He's not just some complete wackadoo that you can't even understand what he's saying.
He
He's
is an
interested.
Ubermensch,
He
like
yeah,
straight up.
no, I think he's great.
I mean,
But
I
anyway, as far as the three eye atlas, that was
I
one of the things I wanted to talk about. Another thing, though, that's interesting to me that seems to be something's going on, and that has to be the what I wanted to mention was the geomagnetic and solar flare phenomena because
what's that?
second,
this
wait a
is
second. Before we get to that,
yeah,
the nickel. So I'm calling it a comet.
yeah.
So the comet tail, they're saying that it's emitting nickel, and nickel's not a ele natural element. It has to be created,
Ah, that
and
is an
there's no other comet that has emitted that
wow. How
material
about
yeah, but
that?
to
before.
to be fair, in the universe, all the things that would be required to make nickel are there.
Maybe that's why we're on a coin
If we are
shortage.
bound by the elements that we use and our elemental table, because of the vastness of space, the possibility is that it is doing that. And it's just I hate using the term naturally because we're talking about space. I was going to mention that earlier. Like again, it's a perspective thing. It's our words for things that we can define in certain parameters. But it could be a mathematical possibility that nickel is created because these two things come together, and it could just be something that's very close to nickel that is emitting the same signal. We just don't know. We just what is it she says on Ozark? You don't know shit about fuck, or you don't know fuck about shit.
I think it's the
I don't know
former.
shit about fuck.
Yeah. We know literally shit about fuck. It could be so many things. If you can imagine it, it could be.
Well, I'm just saying that's just a thing. That's just a thing that they've been saying about it.
Yeah, I've
It's
heard
emitting
that
Well,
that.
too.
and then you've got the pulsing, the rhythmic pulsing. You
Hmm.
have the idea of panspermia. Like there's a lot of people like it. There's crazy people out there. Like if you go through Instagram reels and whatnot, there's people that say that they call themselves the Palladians, and they say they're from another planet. Like they're actually just here in human form, and
Yeah.
there's all these theories about, oh, this is extraterrestrial intelligence, and
Well, I'm from Three Eye
they
Atlas. So
yeah, well, there you go. See, we got one right here.
hold on. Back to I just remembered the nickel. So the nickel, like you can find it in like the earth or whatever. But the nickel that this thing is emitting is like not nickel ore. It's like nickel, some other kind of numbers behind it. So it's compounded,
Hmm.
Wow. I'm gonna look
which is
that
just
up.
weird. It's just
Yeah,
weird.
Yeah.
I didn't stumble on that, so
I'm
I
not
got to look
saying
that
like
up too.
it's usually made by a machine. I'm not saying that it's like coming out of a jet engine. I'm just saying whatever type of nickel, it's like nickel 573. I don't know. I can't
I got you.
some kind of a
Makes sense.
isotope,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's like different than regular nickel.
Well,
It's
I
it
But
mean,
anyway, that's all I know
no,
about
that's
that.
well. I mean, in terms of that being a suggestion of alien intelligence or something like that, like I'm already convinced. I mean, I'm sorry, but the technological advances of like the last 50, 75 years, I know we got one of these suckers. Like there's no way we're dealing with computers on our phones and super microchips that can store all. I mean, we didn't just make that shit up. I refuse. There was a boost. We got a boost at some point.
around what do you call it?
Roswell.
Yeah.
And it's really
You ever been there?
materials
Nope.
engineering.
Have you?
I've never been there.
Hmm. Don't go.
Why? What's it like?
It's very
Boring?
campy.
Oh,
Oh, it sounds fun.
Yeah, but it's like not. It like you they could have done better.
It's like lame.
They could have done better, man. They could revamp that shit. I mean, they could make it more believable.
yeah. I
Come
mean, it is
on.
New Mexico.
All the aliens
Yeah,
that they got there and the
not a
tanks
lot
or
going
whatever,
on there.
they look like the the thing you think of when you
The
close your eye and
Greys.
you're like alien and you think of the
Yeah, the
green
Grays.
with the big ass eyes and they it looks exactly like that in them tanks. You could have done better. You could have done better.
Desiree's skepticism is so adorable.
Yeah, the truth is out there, Des. That's all I'm saying. The truth is out there.
Yeah, it's probably in
So,
Area 51, but it ain't in Roswell.
Oh, you were to Roswell, not to Area 51. Okay. Do you remember not too long ago when there was that movement for like
Yeah.
everybody to charge Area
There's a
50
documentary about that. Have you seen it?
I
and
haven't
like
seen the
No.
6 people
documentary.
went?
Oh, what is it called?
About people charging Area 51?
Yeah.
Oh,
They
sweet.
thought that if we had like 100,000 people run towards, they couldn't
They'd
stop
have to tell us
everyone.
something.
Okay, it's on Netflix. It's called Trainwreck Storm Area 51.
Oh,
Oh,
cool.
Trainwreck
You got
is like a series. They do a
Yeah,
bunch
yeah.
of
They got
yeah,
there's like the shit or the poop cruise. There's like um
yeah.
uh other shit. But yeah, it's on there. It's kind of funny because it was just some dude in his mom's basement basically that was like, let's storm Area 51, and then it just blew up. It's
He's
crazy.
It
like
sounds
running.
like a good
Hey,
idea.
where is it? Come on, where is
Come
everybody?
on.
He didn't end up going.
That's
Loser.
that's
And
good.
it ended up being like a music festival in Vegas. It's fucking crazy.
I'll have to watch that.
I just think, I welcome all this stuff because it just gets people's eyes open and stops them from navel gazing and realizing how small we are. I think that's good.
I
I
did
think
ask
that's a
my
good
son,
perspective.
who's 14, I said, hey, you know anything about 3A Atlas? He goes, oh, you mean the alien spaceship? I said, oh, sure. What do you know about it? He goes, it's
But
aliens.
kids are like that. Of this group, how many of you were fucking firm that Bigfoot exists at some point in your life?
Oh,
I
Oh,
mean, no one's seen
yeah,
him.
when I
So
was a
he's
kid,
got to
I
be good
thought I
hype.
believed in it.
yeah.
And again, he could be one of those phases from another.
Cryptozoology.
Yeah, the whole
A
string
cryptid.
theory where everything's happening all at the same time thing really does bear more merit than a lot of other things out there. And like time travel, I feel like if we are to time travel, it's going to be through thought. It's the only thing that could survive the vastness of space. You know what I mean? Like taking a consciousness somewhere else. And I think we're very far from that ability, but I feel like there's something to that.
How, Carl, you were
What?
saying about the solar, what are they called? Solar storms?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Geometric storms.
Okay. All right. Well, just to sort of create a background, the sun, as we know, it's an engine of magnetism and plasma. Every now and then it hurls bursts of energy and clouds of charged particles into space. Now, Earth's magnetic field, it kind of shields us from any like real damage that could do, but sometimes the outbursts grow so strong, it shakes the shield and creates what we call geomagnetic storms.
Hmm.
So solar flashes are sudden flashes of energy, right? That's radiation. But then there's something called coronal mass ejections, which are huge bubbles of magnetized plasma launched into space at millions of miles per hour. And it says here when a CME is aimed at Earth, it can collide with our magnetic field and trigger auroras, radio disruptions, and in extreme cases, serious impacts on power grids and satellites. Now, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but lately the aurora borealis is visible like
Yeah, they were
In
everywhere.
seeing
here
it in
in
North
Kansas, we've
Carolina.
seen, psh,
Texas.
I don't know about
Uh,
Texas.
that's what I've heard.
Bitch, I'm from Texas. I'm
So I
just kidding.
mean, so that to me, it's kind of like with the Three Eye Atlas makes me understand how small I am in the universe. I worry more about the friggin' sun and the CMEs and the solar flares because they can have an immediate effect. Now, there was something, it says here, the most famous solar storm in recorded history is called the Carrington event of 1859. Okay, it was named after this astronomer. It says here
Isn't
that
it Carrington?
Richard Carrington. It says
Dick,
he
oh, good
observed,
old Dick
Dick
Carrington.
Carrington.
yeah, Dick Carrington. Yeah, he's a good dude.
Oh,
Uh,
Dickie.
he observed a
Big Dick
brilliant
Carrington.
he observed a brilliant white light solar flare. 17 hours later, a powerful CME slammed into Earth's magnetic field. Auroras lit the skies as far south as the Caribbean.
Hmm.
Telegraph systems sparked, caught fire, and continued operating even with their batteries disconnected. There were a couple of other major events, major CME storms. But just to get to the present day, it says here in May 2024, the most intense geomagnetic storm in over 20 years, it's called the G5, which is the highest
Mhm.
level, produced worldwide auroras and measurable impacts on GPS accuracy and space systems. And we're now in solar cycle 25, which is expected to peak basically now.
What's a solar
Wow.
cycle?
Well,
I
when
guess
these
it's,
things happen,
yeah, when
yeah.
these things happen.
I guess yeah, predictable events. I would think is what that means. Is like certain.
And this led to questions of, again, existential issues. Do you guys remember when we had the Mayan calendar,
Mm-hmm. And
2012.
2012,
Yeah.
yep.
and they
And it
say
was
that
gonna
What is
end
that? No, no, please. I'm actually not familiar.
like the end of the Mayan calendar. Like it only went up to like some date in 2012.
Oh, okay, got it.
Like I
Okay.
don't
yeah,
know, May 2nd or something.
apparently we had a near miss in 2012 of one of these major CMEs, I guess, directly hitting the Earth. Yeah, so I mean, it just with all this aurora borealis shit, and then there's talk about that there's been a slight shift in the polar shift as well. I don't know. Like, I know about mass, I know about gravity, I know, like Zeus said, the way things had to line up, whether it's with perfect precision or just random luck, that we ended up getting our solar system the way it is in the galaxy where it is. We rely on the sun. If that betrays us in some
Yeah.
way,
Yeah.
we are completely fucked.
Well,
So
and,
okay,
and
hold
there's
on.
also the argument of we're in what a lot of I guess they would be astrophysicists refer to as the Goldilocks zone. Like previously, Mars may have been in the Goldilocks zone where it was able to sustain life because it was the perfect distance from the sun and it had organic matter and blah blah blah. And we're in that, and not to say that we're going to be out of it anytime soon. It could be a million years, it could be 100,000, or it could be 1,000.
Could be
But
next week.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, the randomness of the universe, that's when you start to if you become a faithful person, that's when you start to have to feel like there is something intervening. But I like Dez's idea of a god for this galaxy, a god for another galaxy, so on and so forth. Um,
Like celestials.
like a network, yeah, like a network of gods.
Yeah, it's just
That is
gods chilling
interesting. That is an interesting
in the
concept.
heaven of the blackness.
Polytheism.
What's
And
space as a whole called?
Or
I
what
don't
if
know.
God just made all this stuff and then took off?
What if God
well,
was
He
one
just said,
of
"Okay, I made it.
us?
I got other
just a
things to do."
stop like all of us.
But no, I think what's sort of wild about this is, like, we talked about the technology, the cell phones, the computers, the GPS. Even if one of these CMEs didn't destroy the Earth per se, it could basically, at least for a while, take us back to like olden times. Like,
Mm-hmm.
what if all this shit shut down?
Well, hold
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
So it says
Yeah.
so back to the solar cycle. Solar cycle is roughly an 11-year period. So we've been through a couple apparently. Um,
In
uh,
recorded time.
ch period of 11-year period of the sun's changing its magnetic activity marked by sunspots, CMEs, solar activity, and it results in a flip of the magnetic poles. So is that
Mm-hmm.
like the North and the South Pole?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how is the South? So the South
Magnetically.
Pole is going to be the North Pole is going to be the South Pole
So it's positive, negative.
magnetically.
Yeah, magnetically. So inside the Earth, the core of the Earth is surrounded by magma. Magma.
Magma.
So if
Magma.
you can imagine, it's a
Magma.
super dense ball of more material than the rest of the Earth combined, except it's much smaller because it's under immense pressure. And then it's within this pool, different layers of magma and different viscosities of
Magma.
rock. So it can spin within the Earth and it can go upside down and reverse polarity is really what they're talking about.
Mm.
Um, and yeah, that would be probably catastrophic. Like
Yeah,
What?
Well, but
it's
apparently it's
it,
happened before.
it
It's not
happens
a
all the,
yeah,
thing.
yes,
it
it
happened,
does.
but it says the last full reversal happened about 780,000 years ago.
Right.
So
Oh,
It's
it
if
said
that
pretty
11
bad.
years.
No,
no, it
the
wasn't 11
cycle
years
of
ago.
the sun goes through, but the Earth polarity does not change that often. And if it were to do that, yes, it would be incredibly disruptive. Because
Oh,
the problem is, as it switches, the Earth's magnetic field protects us from a lot of the solar
Yes.
radiation. And if we lose that protective force field of magnetism, even for a second, we would just get cooked. We would just be like,
Yeah, and I was
we
going to
just get
say this.
incinerated.
Yeah, and current observations, like Des said, do show that Earth's magnetic field is weakening in certain areas.
Yeah.
Notably the South Atlantic anomaly, it's called.
Yep.
Um, yeah, there's several conspiracy theories about this too. There's the Earth crust displacement theory. There's government cover-ups, something to do with Nibiru or Planet X. A rogue planet's gravity will trigger a pole reversal. There's
Yes.
something
Oh,
called
is
this.
Nibiru's where the Anunnaki are supposed to
Zachariah
come from, right?
Sitchin. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I got to plug this
The
computer in.
12th
Uh-oh,
planet.
guys.
It's called the 12th planet. Yeah. That it's on a 3,500 year orbit around the sun
You
and
know,
it's coming back.
so putting thought back into a major force in the universe, it wouldn't it be crazy to conceive that the Earth blew up like 50 years ago and we're just living in thought right now?
I mean, I don't want to be
all
working
just a
if
dream.
that's the case.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is all a simulation. Is that what you're saying?
Can
Are we
someone
going
tell
Oh,
me
that
so I
far?
don't have to
don't
go to
even get
work
me
tomorrow?
started on the simulation shit because I'm gonna find the programmer and fucking slit their throat because my simulation sucks.
Hmm.
Well, have y'all seen so the Aurora Borealis, that's not the same as these just
No,
auroras that were,
it's a magnetic phenomena, yes, but
I think
it's
it's
not.
everywhere.
but
Aurora
that's always
Borealis can be
around.
anywhere.
It's when the Earth's magnetic part of the magnetic field can become visible because of some type of interaction I don't
I think
understand.
you're
Hmm.
mistaking the Aurora Borealis with the Northern Lights. The Northern Lights are
It's the same
in
thing.
It's the same
an
thing.
Aurora Borealis, but Aurora Borealis can show up anywhere. It's a
Oh,
definition of a
I got you.
an
It's
event.
yeah,
Okay, so but the Northern Lights are always there. So, but it's all the same thing. It's just they're always there, but now
yeah,
they're
but
in
now
some
they're
other
all now
places
they
too.
seem
Yeah,
to be
but they were
everywhere.
seeing an Aurora Borealis in North Carolina
Yeah,
recently.
I know. We saw one. I
it
remember
dropped
seeing that.
south.
Did you guys see that? Very nice.
Nah,
No.
wasn't
Really?
interested.
It
No,
was really cool.
I was watching the Friends of Zeus podcast and I just could not take my eyes off this. I couldn't look up.
I
No,
mean,
No,
you
I
can't
did
see
not
it.
see it.
we tried to see it. I don't know if it's just all the pollution around here, but we saw a diddly swat.
You do
But you
have to
did
go
get
out to it's really
space
dark.
drones. You did get drones,
The
Jack.
drones were
We
blocking
Yeah, the drones they set up
the
a net, a canopy, and
yeah.
now we can't see anything.
Well, see, here in Kansas,
We're
we
under the
got
dome.
lots of space, open space, the wide open fields. We can drive about 5 minutes north of my house and it's dark enough to just see it. We can't
Wow.
see it, but like you just take a picture of it and then it shows up in your phone.
Well,
It's
you
weird.
guys,
Wow.
where you live, you can probably see so many stars too. I would think, right? I mean, or are you in a high
Well, it's
pollution
weird because
area?
I live in the city just enough to where
Oh,
I
okay,
mean I can see stars, but I can't see like I can't see like the Milky Way, but I can see like some stars.
That's what I
okay.
want to see. That's one of my bucket list things.
Some stars.
I want to go to Hawaii and go up to the top of that mountain because they say the view is just minimizes your how you feel about
Yeah, these
our impact on the universe.
Yeah,
when
no,
we since we started traveling these islands, like there's no light pollution on the beaches because first of all, when it's If you've ever been to an island, like you'll notice that when it's dark, baby, it's dark.
Mm-hmm. Can't see
That
your
means it's
hand.
time for you to go to bed
Yeah.
because there's no lights on. There's no beach lights. There's no lights outside. There's no fucking tiki torches a blare. Like there's
Yeah,
no
well,
lights,
one
and
of
they turn
my
them off because they're
moments of
turtles. Number one, number two, it's just dark and you can see so much. Like it's crazy.
one of
Yeah,
my moments
I
of
was up in Maine once, and like it was called Thompson Lake. I had a buddy whose family had like a house there, and I've never seen the sky like it. Like
Yeah, it's
obviously I
beautiful.
grew up in an urban area, so we don't have very. It's not really great for stargazing. But up in Maine, man, I could not believe what I was looking at. It was so beautiful, and you really got the scope of
Hmm.
how much is really. I mean, it was like
There's so
looking at
many.
a photo in an astronomy magazine. I mean, it was
Mm-hmm.
really something.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can take your phone, you can get like a Stargazer app and actually like match up the shit on it.
Oh, that's cool.
You
to
can't do that. I mean, you can't. I can see like a constellation from
yeah
where I live, but
Yeah,
I mean, I can't
I could
see.
see one occasionally, but not too often.
to that
Um,
note, like my biggest in my life. Okay, I went there. Mike probably knows about this place, Smith Mountain Lake.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really good place with limited like light pollution. You're up on top of a mountain and it's not heavily populated. So you like you can read at night from the stars. But my biggest that one was one, but my biggest one was actually when I went on that cruise. When you're
Hmm.
out there in the water and you just realize the vastness of just the ocean. Like it was again like you just get some perspective of how tiny and insignificant you are. So yeah, that I want to go on a cruise again just for that vibe. It was a really neat kind of way to look at things. Like
well, Desiree touched on like just walking up to the ocean on the beach and the like you feel like just the vastness, the depth of it. That's why I mean they say the beach has a calming effect on most
Hmm.
people, like just to go stand there and listen to the ocean as it kind of does its, the tides coming in, you hear that roar,
Hmm.
Time
that
and tide.
sound.
Yeah.
It really is, I mean, it's a way to get in touch with the universe. I mean, it really is as close as we can actually get right now, especially if you do it under a starry night like that. It's got
And
to be
and I
amazing.
think part of it is because it is real, right?
Yeah,
Like TikTok, your job, drop your commute to work, getting the mail.
AI.
That is fleeting. The stars, the ocean, these things persist. These things are forever. They go on
yeah,
and on, time and tide,
Really,
right?
a real beauty is to actually realize how insignificant you are and enjoy what we have
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Like,
Be appreciative, have gratitude.
yeah, not take everything so seriously. Like this world right now is so serious about everything. I wish, if I could wish anything for the world, it would be that we can just fucking
Not give a
take a
shit about
step
stuff.
back and I mean, this is what 3i Atlas is doing for us. It's opening our eyes to something that's probably been happening 1,000 times over. We've
Yeah.
probably nearly
sure.
been missed by 1,000 asteroids and meteorites and all these other things, and maybe even hit by some, but they just dissipate into our atmosphere. But like that's the greatest thing about this, and I think as time goes on, probably before any of us are pushing daisies, we're going to see a lot more of these
Yeah,
Yeah.
situations.
I mean, three in less than 10 years.
yeah, it's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
And one I can't even pronounce, Oumuamua,
A
Yeah,
Milla
but
Milla. Yeah. A Milla
but
Milla. It means
in this one
traveler.
Mua
I've been
mua.
calling it Atlas AI for like like a month.
3i Atlas.
But
yeah,
just
Atlas.
I
It's
think
slash 3i
a,
slash
a,
Atlas.
a
Yeah.
really great gift is actually to realize how insignificant you are, that you're only significant to you and the random people that you have around
And
you.
yeah.
Yeah, everyone needs
Yeah,
to go to the ocean, to a like not like, Venice Beach. That's not it's not the same.
Although
I
Venice
think
Beach
going to
was
the
nice.
mountains is kind of the same as what you're saying. Like
No,
mountains are pretty cool too.
it is, to me, it's different. I mean, I guess everyone
Sure.
has their thing, but if you go and you stand on like a dark beach at night,
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
I love
just
the
with your
beach.
feet just in the water, just enough to get just a little, touches you a little bit at night,
It
and just
brings a
stand there
balance. Yeah.
Oh,
and
totally.
Absolutely.
don't talk to anyone. Go by
Especially
yourself.
especially when you get to certain places that have very dramatic tides, like
Hmm.
the first time I went to Cape Cod and like I was out there and like the tide went out like 200 yards. I mean,
Wow.
you could just like walk out for like two football fields to get to the water when the water was at, I never saw anything like that in my life. Like hermit crabs, people had boats that were just
Sitting there.
sitting on the sand, and then the water would come in and raise like 10 feet and refloat the boat. It's crazy. I've never
I got
seen
my
anything
ass
like it.
kicked by the ocean one time
Yeah,
by
What?
fucking tides.
Undertow?
Well, I was like doing some
knocking you
stuff I
down
shouldn't. You know how you do stuff you shouldn't be doing. You know that.
all the time.
Yeah.
So there was like this. It was down in Jupiter, Florida,
Hmm.
and there's this like cool like area where there's like a lot of rock formations and like blowholes, and you can like go through rocks and shit. So I was down there doing that. Well, tide came in,
Mm.
and then it just slammed my ass into the fucking rocks. Dude, I have a scar on my butt from it still because
Wow.
No,
it
you
was bad.
don't.
Yes, I do.
When was
Prove it.
this?
This was like a
When?
couple years ago.
Wow.
So it slammed me up against the rocks, and I was like, I have to get out of here because if I'm going, this is gonna kill me.
This is gonna kill you.
So I just chucked my phone up like the I was down like on the beach, and the rocks like were up there above my head. So I just
Oh, that
chucked
is
my phone up
scary,
there,
man.
Yeah,
and
you told me about this.
I don't know how. I just like jumped with all of my might. This is back when I could jump on sand, like on sand. Jumped and then just pulled myself up out of that. And then that water just slammed me again. I was like, Jesus. There was a guy with his son just like walking across and he was like,
Up high.
are you okay? Like he
That's
was just like,
scary. That is so scary,
just popped
Des.
up. I know, dude, it was scary. And I look back, stuff like that, it's like, wow.
Yeah, we were
And
there's
then I
this
probably would have never been found. Like, you know what I mean?
Right, you would have been gone out to
Yeah, and
sea.
Out to
that's and
sea.
that's what's funny about it. Even Zeus mentioned the mountains, like especially for like city folk, like I mean like we are. Not only just going out to the ocean, but going into the mountains and the woods at night by yourself, you realize how treacherous Mother Nature is. Like we are
Yes.
so at the mercy of of what we can control and what we've adapted, our advancements and over thousands of years to make us safe from a planet that is just trying to kill you. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
oh
just,
yeah, yeah.
like, I'm
The
sorry, if
earth
I'm up
is
in the
trying to
mountains at
shake us
night,
off.
if I'm up in the mountains
We
at night in the woods, there are bears. You know what I mean? There are
well,
animals.
e
It's
even like years ago, my wife and I took a long trip, 2 weeks or whatever, out in Arizona and Utah, and we were like just driving all over the place and going to reservations and Monument Valley and all these different canyons and all that. Anyway, uh, we rented a convertible Mustang, which is like the best
That's
way
cool.
to do it.
Hmm.
But we were getting gas and we were leaving Canyon de Chelly, which is in Arizona. It's on a reservation. And we are like basically heading into like desert. I mean, it wasn't like hot desert, but it was like barren.
Hmm.
And the guy was like, "You want some water?" I'm like, "No, we're good." He's like, "You have any water?" I'm like, "No."
Did you get some?
He's like, "You gotta take a couple gallons of water." I'm like, I mean, we're just driving through. He's like, if you break down in the middle of the day out there, you will die. Like
Yeah, people, dude,
if you
you
don't
know,
have water. And I was like, holy shit. Like I'd never been in that situation in my entire
because
life
there's
where
nothing, and there's things like in like Death Valley where people that will happen, and then they'll go to like find gas or find a fucking phone or find
you're
there's
done
no
because
just
it's so
a
dry.
skeleton,
It's not even the heat. It's so dry. It just sucks the water right out of your skin. It
and
It
then it
just,
just
gets
kind of
cold at
reminds me
night. It's
of
hot
and it
as
gets
fuck in the day. It's
cold.
cold at night.
But it made me kind of realize my own mortality. I was just like, wait a minute, I have to take 2 or 3 gallons of water in case something happens so I don't die. Like I didn't and the thing is, this guy was just being nice. saying
This
something.
this reminds me of have you guys seen a movie called Into the Wild?
Yes.
It's a great movie, and there's two parts in that movie. One I found really immensely like again your mortality thing is he's leaving Hal Holbrook behind, and Hal Holbrook's like, "Why don't you take these boots?" And he hadn't even thought of the boots,
Hadn't
and
even
like
thought about it.
it was one of the reasons why he got to the point where he could die.
Yeah.
And that was another thing. He was very smart. He's from actually Annandale, Virginia. That guy,
Yep.
the main
I know
character.
what you mean.
And
Yeah, they wrote a book. It's based on a book, right?
Yeah.
yeah. It was
Yes.
based on a real guy. Everything
Yeah,
happened. I mean,
yeah.
within some
But
artistic
he
license, but
was a little dumb. I mean, to do that, what he
yeah.
did.
And that is where the schizophrenia kind of comes in. Like you have these people that are immensely intelligent, but they have no social cues that teach them the things that you need to learn, like don't eat this plant, don't think you're smarter than the universe. And
Hubris.
it's a
Yeah.
great movie. If you haven't seen it, I know Des won't watch it because she doesn't
Yeah,
do.
I haven't seen it, but hey, we've been on for a while. But speaking of movies, man, well, a couple of things. We didn't have Carl Sagan on with us tonight, and we didn't have Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Nope.
But we didn't need them. We wanted to just talk about the universe and our place in it and what's
Very
happening.
theoretical conversation.
That's a
Yeah,
great
well,
point. That's a great
yeah,
point.
but we got to watch out for these CMEs and solar flares. That's all I'm saying. Something's
That's
going on, and
yeah,
and
man.
all these magnetic anomalies happening in the last 10 years. So we gotta
And if I
we gotta
may
hold on
add,
to our hats.
if I may add to the 50 or so constant listeners of the show,
Yeah.
I'm going to do the episode next week. And if I've talked to you guys about it, fine, but I'm not going to say what it is. But it's going to have a correlation to what we're talking about this week, as the Three Eye Atlas could be an element in what I want to talk about next week. So I'll
Okay.
leave the mystery there.
Little
Okay.
teaser. Little
All right.
teaser.
And then also I just wanted to mention a couple. You mentioned Into the Wild. There's some other really good movies that maybe people might be interested in checking out. You might want to watch Interstellar, which is a Christopher Nolan film with Matthew
100%.
McConaughey.
Don't look
Great,
up.
great.
Don't look up
Don't,
with
yeah, I was
Leonardo.
going to say Don't Look Up with Leonardo DiCaprio. We actually did a whole episode on that. You can
That's
check
a
out
great
our
movie.
review.
2000: A
Oh
Space
gosh,
Odyssey.
there were so many. We talked about time travel. You
Oh,
could
how
look at
about
12 Monkeys.
Oh yeah.
Contact? Contact is such a good. It's a great book. It was a pretty damn good movie too.
Arrival.
Yeah. Arrival. Yeah, no,
Arrival,
I had some other one in mind. I can't even think of it right now. We've
Last
been on
Mars
for,
Starfighter.
Attacks.
yeah, we've been on when
Mars.
Mars Attacks. It's so good.
All right,
All right, we've been
everybody.
on for a while. It's time to wrap things up. Do the hand thing, man. Somebody. I can't move my hands.
Ooh,
All right,
ooh,
we'll
ooh.
see you guys next week. Thanks for tuning in. Take care.
Take care.